When you think of Music City, Provo probably doesn't come to mind. But if you walk the sidewalks here, you can retrace the steps of some of the biggest artists in today's music scene. Their journey began at Velour Live Music Gallery with a man who's much more than a hit maker.
Velour is like the epicenter of a lot of creativity. I remember driving past Velour and seeing a line of people outside the door. I just knew that I wanted to be a part of that.
Velour is a music venue in Provo. It's like our little home, our little trophy of Provo. I think we're proud of the bands that have played here, and we're proud of the way that it's brought a lot of like-minded people together.
A lot of times I'll say, Velour has done this or impacted me this way. And really what I mean and what a lot of people in the community really mean is Corey, because those almost are interchangeable. He is the guy behind the scenes moving all the pieces, and people don't see that, and he likes it that way.
I've worked in the Provo music scene for 27 years. I started really when it exploded here in the early 90s, and finally just got to the point like it was time for me to do my own thing, and I weighed out in Salt Lake or LA or wherever, and if I was gonna open a venue, I was gonna kick myself if I didn't attempt doing it here. There's always been an amazing energy down here. It's more than just a job. I'm passionate about the community as well. All ages music venues don't exist for a reason. It's because venues make all their money on alcohol. So to have a venue like this, the passion has to be something different. My motivation is probably similar to a teacher, where the satisfaction, I think, comes from knowing maybe they have some influence in someone else's life to push them to maybe do more. And luckily, we've had some, crazy success stories come from here that, makes it definitely very satisfying.
It's now become something bigger than the local Provo scene. He's influenced the world. I mean, Neon Trees, Imagine Dragons, Joshua James, the Aces, all of these bands have moved on to the world stage.
The main part of Velour is its artist development. It really all starts with open mic night. Especially with Velour being an all-ages venue, it gives younger artists a chance to get on a stage at a far earlier age. I mean, we've had 12-year-olds get up at open mic night.
Well, everyone knows, at least here, that playing Velour is like legit. So if you get to headline, if you get asked to headline, or you get asked to even play on a show, especially if Corey kind of finds you out of nowhere, that's a big honor.
National parks, Brady Parks, he's almost the biggest example, I think, of the guy that was just really the average college kid that started open mic night, and now same thing. It's like touring all over the country, selling out.
What Corey has done to it, to set an atmosphere that says something's going to happen here tonight that you're not used to. And the kinds of music that you do here when you come in here, there are stories being told that you identify with, that you realize that you're not alone. You actually have a family. And I'm talking about the kinds of lyrics that often talk about the fear that a person has, or the restriction they feel they may have in terms of finding themselves in this world.
I think Velour did save me in some ways. Even when I was studying classical music, I was very, very, very depressed. Because Velour was a space that was so accepting and so loving for people similar to me, musicians who've grown up in a very, very unforgiving, perfectionistic community where being critical, both of other people and of yourself, is kind of woven into our culture. All of a sudden, there was a place where all of these people were lumped together. And rather than feeling like outcasts, I suddenly felt like I was understood by peers who were in my exact same situation.
I was always thankful I saw the weaker side of Corey, the scared, and the side of him that was worried about all of this falling apart.
I got diagnosed with kidney disease when I was a teenager, and most people in my life have never known.
When he first told It was Mark and I, just in the back of Velour. He pulled us aside and he told us that he needed a kidney and probably pretty soon.
You get busy and kind of blow it off and try to act like, oh, that doesn't exist, this thing. And then it just got to the point where I couldn't deny it anymore. I was already on the kidney transplant waiting list for a couple years at that point, and it's just not a guaranteed thing being on that list. And so they recommended that I finally go public with it. I posted it out there. It's a tight-knit community. I knew there'd be a lot of support. Could never have imagined like how much support came. Imagine Dragons and Neon Trees came back and played, at that point Imagine Dragons was playing like 30,000 seat arenas, and they came back and played Velour. We got $300 tickets and donated all that toward the medical fund. Although I felt, I wasn't feeling great, health was definitely declining, there still was this positive energy from the community. It seemed like a high school friend of mine was gonna be the match, and then it was like the rug just got pulled out.
I think we were at his house and he broke the news to us, like, hey, the match that we had fell through. And at that moment, I could see the emotion and defeat, like the hope had just drained out of it.
How does Velour exist through all of this? And it was definitely not a fun time.
I had this feeling like I could be the one to give him a kidney, and I felt really at peace about that.
For him to be on the road and his band also supporting him at that, being able to go and get tested was pretty crazy.
So you can talk about miracles, or you can talk about coincidences, or you can talk about boiling the cabbage down. That was unique, that it was this person, and that his friend was willing to stop what he was doing with a career that was skyrocketing, stop it all, and give his kidney up. And the community gathered around him. One of the greatest nights that I remember was that night when I came back after the surgery and Corey showed up. Looking better, but still weak, but knowing that it's gonna be okay.
So when I got sick, I had to cut down on being here, and it was a process getting back in, so open mic was the last night I started coming back. I think it's just in my blood at this point. I haven't been married, I don't have kids, but I feel like I have thousands of kids over the years.
I remember one night specifically, I was walking out of open mic. I had my guitar in my hand, and Corey stopped me at the door and said, hey, we'd like you to come back and play an acoustic showcase. And I played it cool and then ran outside and called my mom and started freaking out about it.
There's a lot of people that play in this venue that have reached deep in their soul and found their own story and put it to music and shared it on this stage and affected and changed the lives of other people around them. And what they do in those smaller little moments is just as big as what the bigger bands that leave this place and go on to bigger things do.
That ripple effect, him doing something impossible in a place that doesn't seem to make sense to do it, I think Corey created an opportunity and a space for people to grow and rise.
Thank you all so much!
This is Utah is made possible in part by the George S. and Dolores Story Eccles Foundation, the Utah Office of Tourism, the Lawrence T. and Janet T. D. Foundation, and the contributing members of KUED. Thank you.